Let's see how a cold CEO treats his wife when someone else is in his heart. Will Kook complete T's wishes and dreams about her future husband? No hate towards any character because it's fictional. It's purely my imagination.
After a few days, Taekook was in the living room. Tae, Jungkook, Kook. Yes, sweetheart, he said while keeping his file aside and giving full attention to Tae. Tae, it's Kook's mobile rang. Both looked at their phone where the caller ID was showing. Kai, secretary. Tae looked up at Kook, who took his mobile fast and lifted the call. A flash came from Tae's past. I guess his girlfriend is his secretary, something with the name Ayu. After walking back and forth for a few seconds, and only responded with Kook looked at Tae, who was looking in her lap playing with her sweater paws. Kook. Tae, I need to go. Tae nodded in response while getting up from her seat. She felt so disappointed but not surprised. She smiled at his back and locked the door. I have an important thing to say, but it seems like his important person is someone else. Saying this, Tae smiled at herself. Time skips. Kook's POV. By the time I reached home, I could hear some gigglings. I went inside to see my parents and Tae's parents along with Jimin Yoongi and Yoongi Hyung, who was so lost in admiring Jimin Yoongi with hearty eyes. Tae sat with Jimin and Mama on either side of her. She is smiling at them. Yeontan was in Mama's lap. Tae, Jungkook. Her soft voice brought me back from admiring her. Everyone's attention was on me. I went and touched Mom and Dad's feet. Tae's parents, Mrs. John. Bunny. Mama came near me. I thought it would be a hug, but how wrong. She started to twist my ear. Kook. When did you all come? Because I didn't remember them saying they would come. Mr. Kim, Tae's father. We wanted to give you a surprise, son, that's why. Kook. Mama, please, it's hurting. I looked at Tae, who had a worried face. She looks so cute. Mrs. John. Do you know how much my baby became thin, huh? Tae. No, Mom. I am fit and fine, she said while twirling around. Mrs. John. No, you became thin, baby. Kook. Mama, she is my baby. I whispered, only audible enough for Mama. Mrs. John. I know. Mama shouted back and gave me a mischievous smile. Mrs. Kim. Okay, now leave my son, you are hurting him, and Bear did not lose her weight. Mrs. John. No, she did. Mama went to Tae, who shook her head while smiling, looking at our moms bickering about each other, while our fathers are having a whipped smile. I went towards Papa. Congrats on the recent launch, dear son, I'm proud of you, he said while patting my back. Kook. Thank you, Papa. Mr. John. That's my son. Kook. Thank you, Dad, but you need to give all the praise to Tae because it was her work. Mrs. John. Ah, my daughter. I was wondering where this bunny-faced human got those unique ideas. Turns out you are his secret pill, huh? Tae. No, Mom. Hyung congratulated me with a hug. After speaking for a few, I went back to my room. Tae came into the room with a glass of juice. Tae. Your juice, Jungkook, she said while keeping the glass on the nightstand. And I was about to leave. Kook. Do you know they were coming today? Asked, wanting to know. He turned back with a blank expression, not the one I usually see. Did something happen? Tae. I was about to tell you this morning, but you were so busy and I did not get a chance to speak to you. And I think we need to sleep in your bedroom until our parents go, she said while shrugging off. I felt a pang in my chest when she used that tone. Like she doesn't want to speak to me. At dinner, all sat in the dining area in their respective places. Tae was serving everyone. Mrs. John. Baby, come and sit, we can serve ourselves. Tae. It's okay, Mama. Mrs. John. I said come and sit. Mrs. John said with a strict tone. Kook thought she would sit beside him, but she sat beside Mrs. John and started to serve herself. Jimin noticed this and looked at Kook, who had a small pout on his lips and a disappointed look. So Jimin thought to lighten up the mood. Jimin. Well, Tae, we will go out tomorrow. Tell me, where are all the places your hubby has taken you to? She said with a teasing smile, not knowing she is bringing up something she shouldn't. Till then Mrs. John and Tae were speaking something while smiling. But Tae's smile fell when she heard her yoongi, because her husband did not take her anywhere except to the business event, which seemed like a complete mess to Tae. Tae looked at Kook, whose eyes were glued on the plate in front of him. And he looked at Tae with guilty eyes. Tae. Then let's go tomorrow yoongi, she said with a cue that Jimin would not bring up the topic of them going out together. Jimin. Okay, tell me some places now, she whined, to which Suga kept a piece of carrot in her bowl. Tae. We did not go anywhere because Jungkook is so busy with office work. But we did plan on going out maybe after a few days because the launch just happened a few days ago. Jimin nodded her head and the table became silent. Only the sound of forks and spoons was heard, and all went back to their rooms. All went back to their rooms because they were all tired because of the journey. The Johns and the Kims are in separate rooms. Yoonmin in separate rooms. Taekook went back to Kook's room. Tae went into the bathroom and started to do her night routine. When Kook came back after taking his bath, he saw Tae taking a pillow and a blanket and going near the couch. Kook. Where are you going? He asked with a frown. Tae. I will be sleeping on the couch, she said with a straight face while adjusting the pillow on the couch. She did not realize that they had not even gone out once in this nearly month they were going to end together, and she could feel and assume the reasons in her brain. Kook has a girlfriend who is IU, which was said by Park Josh from the party, and today's call gave clarity about where she stands in his mind. Kook went near her, took the pillow and blanket, and threw them on the bed. Kook. Sleep on the bed, he said pointing towards the bed. Tae. It's okay. We don't have to act inside the room, Jungkook, when no one is there, she said while taking the pillow again. Kook released a quick breath not to lash out on her, ignoring the pain he felt because of her words. Kook. Sweetheart, you sleep on the bed and I will go and sleep on the couch. If you are feeling uncomfortable, he said while slowly taking the pillow from her hands and keeping it in its place. Tae. I was thinking you might feel uncomfortable. If not, you can sleep on the bed too. Thank you. Tae let out and slept back facing Kook. Kook stood there for good seconds and went to change. He came back and slept facing her back. Even if he stretches his arms out he can't reach her. And now he is blaming it on his oversized king bed. On Saturday, Mr. John. Okay lovebirds, we will start in 3 hours and we have our flight tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Get yourself together after today's fun, Mr. John said while checking his watch and laptop. Mr. Kim. Suga and Mini Baby especially, you have to go back to the hospital on Tuesday. No more backing away. Jimin nodded her head and fell on the couch dramatically, but Yoongi asked her if she hurt herself anywhere, to which her cheeks became like tomatoes. Mrs. John and Kim, who are witnessing another pair blooming out from their family, look at each other with a knowing smile and more like smirking. All went to their room to freshen up and get changed. Taekook is in their room. It had been so obvious from the past few days that Tae was ignoring Kook. But our poor Kook was just handling his moody wifey behavior whenever he was speaking to her. Kook's phone rang again, gaining both of their attention. He lifted the call and went outside of the balcony to speak, while Tae was looking at his back standing there. She started to choose the clothes to wear. Soon he came back inside. Kook. Tae. Yes, Jungkook, she. Still not facing him. Kook. I need to. Not knowing what to say, he trailed it off. Tae. Go to the office. She completed the sentence. Kook looked at her without responding anything. Tae. That's it, right? What's there in that to think so much, Jungkook, she said, turning to the other side, not wanting to show her tears-filled eyes to Jungkook, because it was their first time going out and she was feeling a bit excited to go out with him as a significant partner. Kook. I will be back within the time. Tae. Why do you need to say that to me, Jungkook? She just said that, mom, and go. Kook. Tae. I'm using the washroom. She rushed inside. He went down and said he had some work in the company and would be back. All went to the movie and enjoyed it except Tae, because she was still hoping that Kook would be coming back. Soon the movie ended and they made their way toward the arcade. Everyone said Tae to tag along, but being the stubborn girl she is, said she would wait for her husband to come. They went in and the time passed from 1 hour to 2.5 hours. Tae is still in the car thinking he would come. On the other side, Suga called Kook and asked him where he was in the arcade so that they could meet and go to a restaurant to eat. Kook rushed to the arcade, leaving his work. He found Tae in their car when there was the only place where the parking place was left. Tae looked up from her mobile when she heard a sound from the window. She saw Jungkook standing there. Before she could speak something, all the family members came and they went to the restaurant. No words were exchanged between Taekook except for some glances. At home, Taekook is in their shared bedroom. Tae is sitting in bed to sleep. It was 9 p.m. so Tae was reading a novel leaning on her side of the headboard of the bed. Kook was sitting on the couch doing his work. He was looking at Tae occasionally, but the latter was just minding her work like there is no other person in the room. Kook. Tae looked up from her book after looking at the page number she was reading. Kook. You are ignoring me, he said while looking straight into her eyes. Tae, why will I ignore you, Jungkook? She said with a mocking laugh and went back to read her book. Kook. Then why are you not speaking anything to me? Tae. Is there anything to speak, Jungkook? She said with a brow raised. Kook. Why didn't you call me when you were waiting for me there for hours? Tae. Call me. Kook. Huh. Tae. I said call me now, Jungkook. Kook took out his mobile but stopped when he realized he didn't have her number. Tae. Got the reason why I did not call you, she said, shrugging off and giving her complete attention to the book she was holding. Kook got up from his place and went towards the bed. Kook. Give me your mobile. Tae looked at him. She was about to give her mobile, but she realized that her home screen had his so-called husband's picture. Tae shook her head. If you ask why she is not doing anything when she feels like he is cheating on her. Because she loves him and she just wants to see him happy even when their marriage is just looking like an agreement. They say love can make people crazy, and here is Tae willing to give a chance to prove himself that he is not cheating on her, but deep down she is hoping that he is not. Kook. You know I can have my ways. Tae. If you have, then go ahead, Jungkook. She who is stopping you anyway. Kook went back to the couch and started to type vigorously and hacked into Tae's mobile after a few minutes. He called himself from Tae's mobile. Kook. That's my number, he said while pointing his index finger towards Tae's phone. She furrowed her eyebrows and looked at the screen displaying like she was calling a number. Then she realized that Kook hacked her mobile. Tae. Good thing to know, Jungkook. Kook. You are acting weirdly. Tae. Then how do you expect to act so that I can follow your rules? Kook. I'm not saying act according to what I say or I'm gonna make some rules. I was just saying just be yourself. Tae. Sure, she responded, nodding twice. Next morning, all John and Kim went to the airport. Jimin glared at Kook because she knew her Tae was like that due to him. Others might not observe the little change, but being her sister and her soulmate who shares every shitty thing, so Jimin can smell something is wrong with her. Taekook came back to the mansion, and while Tae slept in the car she acted as if she fell asleep. In the afternoon both ate their food and Tae went to the balcony and stayed there till the evening with her novel. Kook. Can you just stop ignoring me like that? Tae. When did even start to ignore you, Jungkook? Kook. Tell me what's wrong, did I do something? Tae shook no and was about to go from there. Kook. Don't give me this silent treatment, Tae. Tae. What silent treatment, Jungkook? Our parents left, so what's there to act? Kook. Which act? He said in a pissed off tone. Tae. Everything, she said while moving hands in between them. Kook. Does it look like an act to you? Tae. Then. Kook stood there silently, not knowing how to respond. Tae. Then tell me what, Jungkook? What? Have we ever spoken normally at least once? Did you at least speak or initiate the conversation anytime? Well, we're just like some roommates. You are always busy and don't have time to even come yesterday. Yeah, I know it's regarding office work, but we have to spend some quality time with family too. But how foolish of me that I waited for you for freaking 5.5 hours with a little hope that you will come. Maybe you might not take me as your family, but at least for your mom, dad, and Suga-hyung. Not every time work comes first, Jungkook. Leave about the things when we did not go out and don't have each other's numbers. I'm even doubting that you might not even know my name. You were not there when I wanted you, but you were there only when I needed someone, just like the day when you came back to take your file. I'm sorry if you felt offended. Tae was about to continue, but again Kook's phone rang. Tae. Looks like you have someone so important to attend, Jungkook. Unlike me, who is not so important to even remember that someone is waiting for you somewhere like a dumb person. Tae went upstairs to her room and stopped the door with a bang sound. Kook lifted the call. Kook. What the hell do you want? Kai. Sir, we found out who is the traitor. Listening to that, he cut the call.
Thank you for reading amazingly. Hope you all liked it. This is just a fiction, please don't take anything to heart. See you all in the next chapter. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends who loves to live in imagination world.